Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Smackdown TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania, and that is how you close a mania.
What else we get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night Smackdown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby. Okay, hello. How is everybody doing? I am late. Don't be mad at me. It's my father's birthday weekend, and I had some stuff I had to do. So I apologize for my lateness. Okay? I had stuff I had to do. So I apologize, but we going. Hello, young boy Jay. How are you? We're going to get into it. Okay? So I went live at 10:42. Thank you, love. Let me just put them down over here.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 of the turkey and 2 of these hats. So you can get whichever one you want.
Okay. Let me put it. Just hold it right here. I'm going to move these. Get ready to go to bed. Just put them on the steps. This can go in the trash. Okay, y'all. So, if you didn't watch Smackdown, I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of Smackdown. And if you want to hear my predictions of the show for Night of Champions, Impact Under Siege, all that stuff, if you want to hear all that stuff, then you can go to Down for the Count, the podcast. I put up a bonus episode where I did a complete rundown of all of the pay-per-views. Logan, Lolo, go sit in the hallway and listen to the phone. Sit right there. There you go. Now you can play it a little louder if that's what you want to do. There you go. Okay, so I watched SmackDown today, and it was interesting, but it had some predictability. Bianca cut a promo today. Bianca basically, was like she ain't treating Asuka like a friend no more. She's not going to give her the benefit of the doubt no more. She's ready to tear Asuka a new one at Night of Champions. Which, okay, cool, sis. I got you. No problems. They also started, next week is going to start Money in the Bank's qualifying matches. And they've already announced 2 of them. And it's going to be like Lacey Evans versus Zelina Vega and LA Knight versus
Montez Ford, which I'm kind of disappointed by because if one of them doesn't get in, the other one will, and I want both of them to be in Money in the Bank. Now, any whoosies, let me show y'all what we got today. I'm trying to get the cards up so I can put it all up on the show. So hold tight, y'all. Just give me 1 second. Because we had a couple matches and then we had 2 promos today. And it was some interesting stuff happening on the show. All right. So hold on. Let me pull up y'all comments. Like I said, if you want to hear everything that I had to say about all of the shows from this weekend, then definitely head on over to Down for the Count. I uploaded a bonus episode. It's something you can listen to before Night of Champions, before Impact's Under Siege is already, should be getting ready to end in a minute. If it hasn't ended already, and I'll give you guys the results tonight of that show. So you guys can know what happened over there. Okay. I don't think they had the World Championship match yet. All right. I'll get to the Impact Under Siege show in just a moment. All right. So Smackdown happened and it kicked off with Sheamus and Austin Theory. And it's interesting to say the least. Anakin Sky says the Usos really portray Roman, seeing how the WWE is. I think not, and I feel that they will make Roman disputed WWE Tag Team Champion with Solo Sikoa. I hope not. I'd rather they didn't do that. So this match between Sheamus and Austin Theory was pretty decent, but because I was well aware of where it was going to go and how it was going to play out, I was not interested in this match at all. I kind of figured that something would happen and Austin Theory would cheat and get the win like he's always done in every championship match that he has had. And I'd be damned if I wasn't right. Pretty Deadly cost Sheamus the championship in this match, to which Austin Theory rolled up Sheamus, and we all saw the crack of his ass today. Okay? It was a very interesting match. Now, Pretty Deadly cost him the championship, took out the Brawling Brutes as a team, Ridge and Butch, but that was it. It was a disappointing ending to a decent match between these two men. And I really hate that that's how Austin Theory's legacy is going to be marginalized. But at this point, that's the way they booked him. That's the way he's been built. And I'm just not interested in watching any of his matches, no matter how good they are, because they always end in some type of shitty way. They don't never really have a definitive finish where he beats somebody clean, fair and square, especially when a title defense is in there. He always ends up losing, or he always ends up winning on some type of way, nefarious way. It's either in an interference or he cheats. And I'm just once in a blue moon, every now and then cheating in a match, I can understand. But every single time, it just gets, we all know how it's gonna end. We all know how it's gonna start at this point. So I'm just not interested. I'm not interested in it. We got to see Raquel and Shotzi in action against Bailey and Io Sky. In this match, there was a bit of miscommunication towards the end. For whatever reason, Io did not save Bailey from getting pinned, and she had ample opportunity to do so. I am more inclined to believe that the damage control is starting to become damaged themselves, and eventually this team is going to break apart before Dakota Kai could even come back from her injury. With all that being said, Shotzi and Raquel picked up the win over over Bailey and Io. I don't see them getting those tag team championships on Monday either, but that's another story for another day. Later on in the night, we had a match between AJ Styles and Karrion Kross. Now, Scarlett got involved in this match, which there was an equalizer in Mia Yim. She came down and ran Scarlett off, which left Karrion Kross to his own devices against a very fresh AJ Styles. And somebody who's been trying to prove a point, especially when it comes to him being that world heavyweight champion. Leaving Karrion Kross out there by himself, I think, was a detriment to Karrion, which in turned out to be true because Karrion Kross lost to AJ Styles tonight, to which he relishes in the losses for some reason. He uses them as fuel for his next opponent. But I don't think AJ Styles, I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. We'll wait and see how Night of Champions plays out, and then we'll go through some other things. With all that being said, the final thing of the... Come here, Kevin. You got to put some deodorant on. Feel a little bit better? Look clean? Get that can of deodorant off the floor. It's right here up against the bed. Come on. Put your clothes in the hallway. Right there on top of your uncle's shoes, babe. Pick his bag up. Hold on, y'all. All right, give me the other side. You always run away when I put it on there. Oh, let me put this deal on. All right, you're free. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. You'll be okay. We'll get you some more syrup, cough syrup tomorrow. Make sure you drink plenty of water, KJ, okay? Plenty of water. All right, y'all. So the show ended. Was there any other matches on the show tonight, babe? Am I missing one?
I don't know.
We had the girls. Oh, Rick Boogs went up against LA Knight tonight. LA Knight fought Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs ended up losing to LA Knight, to which LA Knight cut a banger of a promo on the Street Profits. Mainly because obviously next week this is happening. You're going to have LA Knight versus Montez Ford. These are the qualifier matches for the Money in the Bank ladder match in July in London. So this kind of gave us a little bit of a little intrigue into what we had to look forward to next week. He cut a real nice promo. He told him to shut up before he take his $5 ass and make change. You know what? He said, I'll take y'all $5 asses. I'll take your $5 to make change out of your $5 asses. I said, sir, LA Knight need to get out my business, okay? But anyways, next week you're going to have LA Knight versus Montez Ford to qualify for the Money in the Bank briefcase match. And for the girls, you're going to have Zelina Vega, which I like this render better than that smiling one she had. And we finally get to see Lacey Evans. She's going to bring her tight ass back. And it's going to be Lacey Evans versus Zelina Vega. And this is going to be the qualifier match for the girls, the very first one to the Money in the Bank briefcase match. And next Friday is going to mark Roman Reigns' 1,000 days as your WWE Undisputed Champion. And he is going to celebrate in the ring. And he wants all his cousins and family to be there. With all that being said, tonight on KO's show, there was a big issue with Kevin Owens, the Usos, and Roman Reigns. Now, Kevin called out Roman and said he can come down and we can have to hash this out. But of course, Pauline brought her thick ass out there and decided that Roman comes out when he feels like it. And that's when the Usos music hit. Now, throughout the night, the Usos and Roman have been at a point of contention. And it seems that Jimmy is finally waking up from his slumber. And he's not okay with Roman Reigns consistently punking him out and disrespecting him at every chance he gets. Every time he gets to the point where he's about to buck, his brother Jay pulls him back. Now, I distinctly remember a few months ago where Jay Uso was gone and Jimmy was the one doing all of the pulling back. But we're going to see how this plays out Because quite frankly, if you're asking me, I think the Usos should be the one to take down their cousin, seeing as how they have been the ones to take the most abuse from this man. If it ain't gonna be Sammy or Kevin, I'd be very happy if it was Jay. Hey, stop hitting that door. Kevin, you okay? Did Crystal find that air mattress?
No.
KJ, go ahead and downstairs and sit on the couch. Grab this blanket. He can use my blanket. We'll just wash it when we get done with it. You can go down there with him. You want a blanket too? You sleepy? You want to take a shower? We're going to wash you in the morning, okay? Because I got to get some clothes for you to put on. He's sleepy, Jerry. He's going to be sleeping in a minute. Them gummies is kicking in. Take that downstairs. Kevin, here's the blanket. I need you to go down there with them and see if Crystal got that air mattress. If she don't, they're going to have to use one of the ones in the basement. Daddy in there. Where my gummies at? You only need one, baby. Go ahead, go get you some sleep. Stay covered up, Kevin, okay? Daddy don't want to turn the air on because he gonna make KJ sicker, he said it. So we just gonna have to suffer up here today. All right. Where was I? She said, child, I done forgot about Smackdown. Baby, it's all right. I remembered it for you. We saw the boys briefly. We did. Now, basically what happened in this last segment was the Usos came down instead of Roman coming down. And the Usos made it very clear that they were the greatest tag team in WWE history, which no one disputes that, okay? But they also, the issue that Roman had with his cousins is that Jimmy said, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the tribal chief. That didn't sit too well with Big Cuz because Big Cuz came down there by himself and got all up in Jimmy's face, knocking microphones out of his hand and shit, got all upset. And Sami Zayn said it very plainly. He said, this is all your fault. He said, your family is crumbling right before your eyes, and it's all because of you. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. With the way you treated these men throughout the time that they've been by your side, how they've kept you at the top of the mountain and giving you everything you've ever wanted, and you still don't give them no respect. So when your family finally does crumble and the final nail goes in the coffin, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. So Roman hit the microphone out of his hand. Kevin pushed him out the way, and their fighting ensued. Super kicks was flying everywhere, and people was getting stunned. And then here comes Solo with the save with the Samoan spike. They took out Sammy and Kevin, and then Jey Uso handed them the undisputed tag team championships. Meanwhile, Jimmy was holding the other set of belts and couldn't bring himself to give those championships to his cousin, to which his brother ended up taking them and handed them to his cousin. And Roman was holding up all 4 titles, standing tall at the end of the night. Roman Reigns and Solo are not winning those championships at Night of Champions. If they do, I'll be fucking shocked. But I highly doubt that they're going to win those championships. Now, if the Usos don't show up, it really doesn't matter. I don't think they have to. I think that they're going to lose. He's going to blame Solo for it. And then his whole family's going to turn their back on him. And he's going to be all alone. With all that being said, Smackdown was a decent show. It moved pretty fast, but I don't know. It was some parts of it where I felt like the show was over with AJ Styles going up against Karrion Kross. I had completely forgot about the setup between Roman and Solo and Kevin and Sammy. I didn't even realize that. But it happened, and it's over. And now we have to look forward to next week. Because like I said earlier, Roman's going to celebrate 1,000 days next week. The girls are going to be fighting for their slot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, as are the boys. I think she went back downstairs to look for the air mattress. The light in the bathroom? They said something's wrong with the light in the bathroom. Okay. All right, y'all. So, one more thing before I go. I promise I won't keep y'all long. Like I said, if you want a full breakdown of each match for Battleground and for Night of Champions, then go on over to Down for the Count. The podcast is up. Y'all can go over there and listen to it. It's the last podcast that's up right now. Y'all can go listen to it and see what y'all want to, listen to all of it, because I give you everything from Impact Under Siege to Impact Under Siege Fallout. I give you Night of Champions. I'm giving you AEW Double or Nothing, and I gave you NXT Battleground as a full recap of each show, all on the same space. All right. So just head on over to Down for the Count, and you can listen to that, and that'll give you a recap. Remember, Night of Champions airs at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Not at 8, at 1. Okay? So you will miss it if you don't remember. You need to get up and make sure you put it on. It comes on at 1 p.m. All right? Here are your match card for Night of Champions. I'm going to run through it really quickly, and then we're going to get back to Impact Under Siege results. All right? So Natalia's going to face off against Rhea Ripley. Bianca. Oh, I forgot about Bianca's segment. So Bianca had a segment on Smackdown as well. She cut a promo against Asuka, and basically what she said was, in a nutshell, that she's no longer going to be giving Bianca the benefit of giving Asuka the benefit of the doubt, and she's going to take her out. She tired of her playing games with her. She stinks. She still got the stinging, still got blue mist all over her hands and her arm. She said she's not playing no games with her. It's going to be on site, is what she said. So when Asuka came out there, she tried to put her in that armbar because she attacked her from behind. The people came out there to stop her. They got them to break apart, and Bianca was getting ready to hit her with the KOD, but one of the producers saved her from the KOD. They had to split them up. So Bianca and Asuka will face off tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they're going to fight for that Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are going to fight. Forgot about the set. That segment. Me too. Said, good night, y'all. Set the alarms for 12:30. Please do, okay? Because you will miss it if you don't. And they do not. And Peacock is not like WWE Network where you can just go back to it and watch it. It takes a minute for Peacock to put the repeat, the repart, the rerun of it. It takes a minute for them to put that up there. So you might want to get up at 1 and watch Night of Champions when it comes on. With all that being said, Trish and Becky are going to battle it out, obviously, for bragging rights. Trish Stratus, the oldie but goldie, and Becky Lynch, the new girl in town, obviously the top contender. Becky Lynch and Trish are going to fight it out at Night of Champions as well. Ali is seeking to topple over Gunther at Night of Champions. It's going to be a large feat, but I believe Ali can do it. And of course, this is the triple main event. The tag team titles are being contested by Roman and Solo Sikoa, and Roman dedicated his title championship win to his father and uncle, Alpha and Sika, whereas the Kevin and Sammy dedicated their championship win to the Usos. So I guess we'll have to see whose dedication means more or less. The second half, or the next part of the triple main event, is of course crowning the new World Heavyweight Champion. Seth Rollins hasn't been seen in about 2 weeks, and AJ Styles has been popping off asking where Seth is. If this title means so much to him, why isn't he here? Seth Rollins will be there at Night of Champions to compete for this championship. Now, yesterday, I said due to the fact that Seth might be still filming for this movie for Marvel, that may be the reason why he won't get the championship. But now, after I thought about it, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that Seth very well could get it. Because think about what I'm saying. Seth freaking Rollins is in a Marvel film. How good would that belt look on the red carpet with Seth Rollins holding it? I mean, Becky did it. Bianca's done it multiple times. Liv did it multiple times. I'm telling y'all. Y'all go to the podcast and listen to my explanation of it, and you'll catch everything else. And the final of the triple main event is Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Now, at the press conference tonight, Cody Rhodes' arm is broken, and the doctor strongly advised Cody from competing in this match with Brock Lesnar, but he refused to listen. He showed up in Jeddah, and he is there, and he will compete against Brock Lesnar with one arm. Always the superhero, aren't we, Cody? Anyways, that is your Night of Champions lined up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I think it's going to be a really good show. Don't forget, like I said, Night of Champions is at 1 p.m. on the Peacock Network exclusively. And if you live outside of the States, it's going to be on the WWE Network. All right? So make sure you guys get up in time to watch the show if you want to, or you can always watch it in the playback, which I believe it comes on about an hour after that. With all that being said, let's get into Impact Under Siege because it is over, I believe it is. And now we can see who won at Impact. All right. So let me go to the top here. All right. So there were two pre-show matches. One of them was non-title. The Death Dolls went up against the Coven. The Death Dolls feature Jessica and Courtney Rush, and Kaylin King and Wild were both part of the Coven. The Death Dolls beat the Coven tonight on the pre-show, and the Digital Media Championship was also defended on the pre-show. That's Joe Henry's title. He went up against Dirty Dango, and Joe Henry won by DQ. The way he won by DQ was that Dango low blowed Henry right in front of the ref, which gave him a disqualification. After the match, Dango continues to beat down Henry until Santino Marella came out. He runs to the ring as Dango retreats, and Santino checked on Henry. Nick Aldis went up against Kenny King, and as I predicted, Nick Aldis won. For whatever reason, Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich were brawling all over the arena. They scrapped into the crowd after falling off a platform. Kelly was dumped on the ringside area. In the ring, Kelly turns it around by choking Masha with the chain. The officials run in to break it up, and Kelly stands tall with a chain as security exits. Jordan Grace gets interviewed backstage by Gia Miller, and Grace says when she was champ at the beginning of the year and was ready to carry the company on her back, then she lost to Mickey and later Deanna. She said there's a lot on the line, and Jordan Grace questions who she is if she isn't the best. Well, that's a question for you to answer, not for me. So apparently, Sami Callihan's mystery partner was Jake Christ. Okay. Rich Swann, Sami Callihan, and Jake Christ ended up winning this match against the Design. And according to the notes, it says Santino Marella tells Gia that he's not going to be impartial when it comes to Dango. He says he's going to punch his lights out because he's supposed to be the the enforcer around there. Anyways, Trinity faced off against Giselle Shaw, and Trinity picked up the win. It says Shaw hid in the corner and got a cheap shot behind the ref's back. Trinity was thrown into the turnbuckle, then kicked into the head. Shaw hits a draping DDT near fall, and Trinity hits a modified Code Red and applies Starstruck for the win. Subcultures as Brian Gia interviews Subculture as Brian Myers and the Good Hands interrupt. Myers tells them to slow their roll, and Danny Luna interjects and says Subculture's first offense will be against them. ABC versus Subculture. ABC picked up the win. According to the notes here, Andrews hit Chris Bay with the stun dog. Webster sentons on Bay near fall. Ace saves Bay, but then again, Webster accidentally knees Andrews. Bay hits a double poison Rana on Subculture, and Ace is legal as Bay hits AOF. Ace hits the fold, and Ace pins for the win. Trey Miguel defended his X Division championship against Chris Sabian, and Trey Miguel retained his championship. In the six-way number one contenders match, it was Moose versus Eddie Edwards versus Yuya Uemura, Jonathan Gresham, Alex Shelley, and Frankie Kazarian. And the winner is Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley picked up the win. Congratulations to you, Alex Shelley. He pinned Yuya Uemura to pick up that win. Now, Gia caught up with Trey about how he won his match, and then Chris Sabian tries to attack Trey, but the champ escapes. So if you want to know how that happened, he sprayed Chris Sabin in the face with spray paint, and Trey rolled him up for the win. So, yeah, there you go. This is a last chance Knockouts World Championship match with Deonna Purrazzo and Jordan Grace. Deonna Purrazzo beat Jordan Grace, and Jordan Grace can never challenge for that championship as long as Deonna Purrazzo is champion. That's gotta hurt. I don't know what happened with the PCO thing, so let me see. Let me see if I can refresh and get that. Oh, there it go. So the No DQ World Impact World Championship match was Steve Macklin versus PCO. Steve Macklin picked up the win. It says here at the end, PCO hits his signature senton and then gets whipped off the top onto the apron. Macklin finds more concrete blocks and throws them in the ring. PCO gets back up, lines the blocks up, and Macklin is laid across the blocks as PCO goes to the top. Macklin pops up and slams PCO onto the concrete. Macklin hits the KFA onto the blocks for the win. Macklin calls out Scott D'Amore. D'Amore, is that how you say it? I can't say his name. D'Amore or D'Amore. D'Amore stays true to his word and straps the world title around a bloodied Macklin. Scott offers his hand, but Macklin leaves the ring. Macklin yells to him that he's his boss. Behind D'Amore is Bully Ray, and Bully Ray chokes Scott with a belt. Bully tells Macklin to get a table, and Macklin slides a table in as Bully helps him set it up. Railwall, I don't know how to say this man's name. I'm gonna say his name is R. Okay, Arwald. Arwald gets into the ring and tries to stop them once Bully pulls out lighter fluid. Bully pours lighter fluid all over Matthew before PCO returns to the ring. Motor City Machine Guns try to make the save, but they get cleared out too. Bully sprays the table with fluid as Macklin gets Scott's up, and Bully slams Scott through the burning table to close the show. That's God, that's fucked up. So there you have it. That is the end of Impact. Okay. All right. So that is the end of Impact, and that is how Impact Under Siege went. Congratulations to everybody. Deonna Purrazzo kept that Knockouts championship. Nick Aldis picked up a win against Kenny King. Steve Macklin is still your champion. He's a dastardly champion at that. And of course, Trinity picked up her first win on a PLE with Impact against Giselle Shaw. Now, this coming Saturday, Look at my DM. Okay. This coming Saturday is going to be Impact Under Siege Fallout. So you're going to have a couple matches from that, which I posted all of those on our Instagram on Down for the Count. Okie dokie. No! I hate Boss's CEO.
I am humongous, I am resourceful, I am much better than ever could be. I am the substance of everything hopeful. I am the proof of what's never been seen. I am so
tacky bitch. Anyways. So there you have it. That is your show for Impact Under Siege. It seemed like it was a pretty good show. I'm gonna go to our podcast so I can show you guys, or tell you guys what Impact Under Siege Fallout is gonna be. Trinity is gonna go up against Savannah Evans. The Good Hands are gonna go up against Subculture. Giselle Shaw and Masha Slamovich are going to go up against Killer Kelly and Deanna Purrazzo. Eddie Edwards is going to face off against Yuya Yamura. Trey Miguel is going to face off against, I cannot say this man's name, so I'm just going to say his name starts with a B. I'm going to say B. Okay. Champagne Singh is going to face off against Heath, and Jody Threat is going to face off against Danny Luna. And Sheldon John is going to face off against Joe Henry. And finally, I can't say this lady's name either. Celizia Spark will face off against Terra Rising. I'm serious. I can't say these fucking names. Everybody be looking at me weird, but some of these names is hard to pronounce. Shit, I'm trying to do the best I can. God damn it now. Y'all know I'm old. Oh, he stapled this man's face, Jesus. What is wrong with you people? Anyways, child, that is Impact Under Siege. Impact's Under Siege Fallout will air tomorrow on Access TV. So you can watch that for free if you have access to Access TV. You also can watch that on their YouTube channel if you want to watch it over there. As long as you are a part of that membership, you can watch it. With all that being said, thank y'all so much for coming around. I didn't want to keep y'all too long because I know everybody wants to get up tomorrow and possibly watch Night of Champions. So I hope y'all enjoyed Smackdown. If you didn't, understandable. It was a little on the slow side, but it wasn't bad. I appreciate y'all for coming around. I'll be back tomorrow to do a recap of Night of Champions. Hopefully I'll be able to do it right after the show. If not, because I might be gone. We might be at the park around that time when Night of Champions come on. Is it raining? If not, it's not. If not, I will see y'all tomorrow later on in the day after the show. Okay? Y'all keep it nice and breezy. I'll see y'all later.
Thank y'all so much for being here, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for being a part of my show. Please be sure to check out my wrestling podcast, Down for the Count, with my girls, and of course, the personal podcast with the entertainment, pop culture, and news called the KTT podcast. Like I said before, we have pop culture that we just love to talk about. Okay, pop culture includes any and all celebrity news. I have the Red Rum True Crime series where I talk about all of the stories in the news that have to do with murder and anything very, very high profile in terms of murder. And of course, we have Am I the Asshole Fridays and Twitter stories. That includes my personal recap of the SBC chat and of course, some Reddit Am I the Asshole stories that need my advice, honey, because I just love to talk. So, if you love me, please do me a favor, run on over there and follow both of my podcasts, because the wrestling podcast is where it's at when it comes to the wrestling. The girls always got it handled on that front, but y'all, my other podcast is my personal baby, and I really want it to pop off. So go over there and follow both of them. They're both available on Spotify, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in our next one. Bye.
interchangeable.